welcome back to my channel. If you didn't already know, I can only eat 9 foods because I have a condition called Mast Cell Activation Syndrome that causes me to react to every other food. So I pretty much eat the exact same thing every single day. But over the years, I've tried different recipes. So today I'm going to be showing you all of the meals that I currently have in heavy rotation, my current favorite meals, my current go-tos. One of the challenges I have is that with MCAS and having a histamine intolerance, I can't meal prep because when you cook food and you leave it cooked and stored, even if it's just for a couple of hours, it starts to build up the histamines and that causes me to react to things. So for me, it's a huge priority to make sure that not only are the meals delicious, because I do still want to enjoy my foods, even though I can eat very few foods, but also that they're quick and easy and convenient so that I don't dread every single time that I have to cook. About 6 months ago, I was able to eat 14 foods. And I started to react to 5 of those foods, which were all of the fruits that I could have. So ever since I really stopped having any form of carbs in my diet, it's been really challenging. It's definitely limited what I'm able to do and also what I have to do in order to feel good and have a nutritionally balanced diet. And recently, with my newest 9th food I could have, it's definitely allowed me to spice it up. So let's get into it. It is now lunchtime. I am making one of my favorite lunches. This has been a hyperfixation meal since about January of this year. I honestly used to have like basically the same meal twice a day. And there was a time in which I kind of got the ick from zucchini. So I was having green beans twice a day. But ever since I came back to LA, I've started buying zucchini noodles pre-spiralized, and I don't know if it's just because it's pre-spiralized and I don't have to do that, but also probably that I gave zucchini quite a bit of a break, that I'm really back on the zucchini train, and this has been a hyperfixation meal that I usually have for lunch. I've also got some zucchini chips to snack on while I cook. If you saw the video where I made these, comment the chef emoji. I've got my turkey. I'm adding some olive oil and a bit of salt. I'm putting them on air fry at 385 for 8 minutes. And I'm going to boil the water for the zucchini. You'll see throughout this video, but I really do use the air fryer for everything. It's just so easy and convenient. It's so quick to wash. When I do things like fish and turkey, I'll often put it in some tinfoil like you saw so that I don't have to wash it after every single meal, because I do often use it twice a day. I'll just wash it at the end of the day. But also I found that it makes the food taste so much better and have so much more of a nice texture. Like it always gets food so crispy, and honestly it just has like the best flavor, the caramelization of the vegetables and fish and meat. And because there aren't really any spices I can have or seasonings, I can only have salt and olive oil. Having different textures and those added elements of flavor and caramelization that come from different cooking techniques is so important. Ever since I realized that this is definitely the best air fryer I've found, I've bought so many of them. I bought one for like every single person in my family, and then after the other one I had when I moved, I just bought myself a new one. So definitely highly recommend it. I will link the specific one I have down below. Turning this down to low to put the zucchini and the lettuce in. As you can see, after they've been air fried for about 8 minutes, they're looking pretty cooked, but I like them super crispy. So at the end, I do a few more minutes on roast at 425. Lots of salt. The turkey is done. It was roasting for about 4 minutes. I have POTS and low blood pressure, so I have to have a lot of salt, and then none of the food I eat naturally has sodium in it, so I just have to make sure that I add lots of salt. Plus, I've gotten used to it and I really like it because it's really the only thing that enhances the flavor of my food. As you can see, after I roasted them, the meatballs are really nice and crispy. Last bit of olive oil and salt. And here we go, zucchini noodles with turkey. Time to make breakfast, breakfast is the one thing that I do eat the exact same thing every single day because there's just an aspect to it that I sort of have to do for the nutrition. So I have my chia seed pudding. I mix this as soon as I wake up, so it's been sitting for about an hour. I put 5 teaspoons of chia seeds and then I just fill it up about this much with water. Now I sort of know just in my head how much water I have to put in it to get the right consistency, which is sort of this like gooey texture, not too watery. And then once it's soaked for a while, I add some glucose powder. Now in an ideal world, I would add a lot of glucose powder because I have such a sweet tooth and this is really the only sweet thing I have in my diet. So this is really the only sweet thing I get to eat. But over the past year, I've realized that one of my biggest mast cell triggers is blood sugar changes, not my blood sugar being necessarily high or low, because I've worn continuous glucose monitors and worked with a dietitian to try and figure that out, and really it's actually the change both when my blood sugar is rising and when it's dropping, and it's just really unpleasant, and there's honestly not really much I can do about it. I am still really careful to make sure to eat protein and fat before I have the carbs, and I always do some type of exercise after I have this, but even with both of those things I still get the symptoms. Granted, it's a lot better than if I didn't eat the protein first and do the exercise afterward, but it's just how it is. And if I don't have this, I'll have low blood sugar because I don't get enough carbs in my diet otherwise. And I think it really is just part of having such a sensitive nervous system. Your body interprets a change, especially a rapid change in blood sugar, as a stressor, but like a normal stressor, as if you were exercising, just as much as exercise is a stress on the body. But when you have such a sensitive nervous system and you have dysautonomia, that kind of change and that kind of stress can be interpreted as a threat by your body, which is how my body is, even with exercise, like just really anything. My body is so sensitive to that kind of thing, so it makes sense. But I really hope that that's not the case in the future, because when I was able to eat more foods, I was able to eat more fruits, that's something I did notice, because once I started reacting to a bunch of the foods I could eat, which were all fruits, that's something I did notice, that I had a lot less symptoms because I wasn't having as many carbs as many times throughout the day. So that is kind of a positive of my diet now. I've got my turkey. I make half of it for breakfast and then I save the other half for my other meal that I have in the day. And topping it off with some more olive oil and lots more salt. And there we have it, chia seed pudding and turkey for breakfast. I think this has to be my favorite thing I eat every single day, and I do often look forward to it as I'm going to bed. Even though I do pretty much eat the exact same thing every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just because those are the things I've found that I like the most, this dish has been one that I've been throwing into the mix recently, usually for lunch, sometimes for dinner, that I have been doing ever since I discovered it, really discovered it, at the beginning of this year, because actually the first time I made this was like 2 years ago. Preheat the air fryer on 385 for 10 minutes. Now to make the zucchini boats. I make cuts right down. Then I take a spoon and I start carving. Comes out pretty easily. And then I'll scrape the rest of the insides. Now I'll place them in the air fryer. You can sort of hear them sizzle. That's how you know the air fryer is definitely hot enough. And those will air fry on 385 for 8 minutes. Now that these have been cooking for a few minutes, I'll flip them. And you can see they're starting to cook and get a bit of color on them. And now I've got the rest of the turkey that I didn't eat at breakfast, and I'll add that inside of here. Add a bit of salt now. And then these will go back in the air fryer, this time on roast at 425 for 12 minutes. The roast setting really helps the zucchini and the turkey start to get really crispy. They are ready and it is looking so good. Finish it off with some olive oil. And lots of salt, obviously. And then we have turkey zucchini boats. It's dinner time and I'm making my usual dinner, which is green beans and fish. Today I went grocery shopping, and often when I go grocery shopping, I might buy some fish that's not frozen. Most of the fish I eat is frozen, but often when I go grocery shopping, if they have fish that looks good, I'll buy some more fresh fish and then I'll just eat it that day. Did you tell I just put these nails on? I actually haven't even had my nails painted in over 4 years, like before I even started college. It's been a year since I graduated. And I've only actually ever had any kind of like longer nail once when I did gel extensions, which did not go very well. It's kind of a horror story. But I got sent these press-on nails and I thought, you know what, I might as well try them. So I've got my green beans and olive oil in here. They take a bit longer than the fish, so I'm going to start them on air fry. Now I'm going to add the fish. And again, like I did with the turkey meatballs, I'm doing it on air fry first and then roast afterwards to get it really nice and crispy and caramelized on the top. For lunch today, I'm making the fish that I usually eat, that I buy and keep in the freezer. So I'm going to start with the green beans. Air fry. And then I've got my fish, olive oil, salt. Added the fish and putting it on roast for 12 minutes and topping it off with some more salt. And then I've got my special edition olive oil that I use on fish because it's really nice and creamy. It honestly tastes like butter. Honestly, the crispy green beans might be my favorite part. And there we go. So those are pretty much all the meals that I've had in heavy rotation and been my go-to meals that I eat pretty much every single day ever since I started reacting to the foods that got me down to being able to only eat the 9 foods that I can eat right now. Occasionally I'll eat out at a restaurant or I'll switch it up, try something new. But honestly, I really enjoy these meals, so I just think, why would I change it? Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed until this point, comment down below the chef emoji. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.